Hey, all you cinema buffs out there, Nate and Dennis bringing you our review of The Mummy. So, The Mummy stars Tom Cruise. It's sort of this new world, dark Universal world they're building right now. And it's the first in a series of dark Universal movies, right?
Yeah, they're building this universe off their classic monsters. You know, The Mummy, Frankenstein, Dracula. They're bringing them all back, and this is the first movie launching this universe.
Exactly. So let's just get right into the plot. There is no connection whatsoever to the Brendan Fraser movies at all, and I feel like this is pretty much just going from scratch when it comes to the plot.
I feel like the plot with this, it was kind of a summer blockbuster paint by numbers plot to me. Just like I feel like they kind of took like the old playbook out of every like kind of cliche and trope, and they threw it in there. There was the love interest, the comic sidekick, the self-sacrifice, the resurrection, just all these things that they bring into Hollywood movies, and I feel like they kind of plucked them all in there.
Perfectly said. This was cliche riddled. Not one original idea in this movie whatsoever. And that really was a weakness for me in this film. It started off with this plot, and it almost seemed like they were going to go kind of personal with it. There's this cool little curse that he has on him. He starts hallucinating and seeing things and dropping hints. I'm like, oh, like this is a B movie sort of disguised as a blockbuster. And then it goes into even more tropes. It just couldn't stop with the cliches. It really bothered me.
Yeah, I mean, all the way down from like, and it's in the cliches, these tropes, they didn't work. You can forgive these kind of, these running over familiar territory over and over again.
Yeah, it's done well.
Yeah, and you're being entertained.
Yeah.
You can forgive it. You can forgive the little errors and the little problems, but it wasn't that entertaining. Like Tom Cruise and Jake Johnson, they didn't have good chemistry together.
No.
Tom Cruise and Annabelle Wallace, they didn't really have good chemistry together either.
Nobody had any chemistry.
No, and I feel like these people are just kind of sleepwalking through these roles.
And I really think that the dialogue was just bad. I mean, actually, maybe not even bad. Bad is about it. It's just boring. There wasn't any clever quips. The comic relief, if there was any, I don't know if they were trying or not to be funny, but it never hit once. Never did I laugh or think this was, clever at times. Just the dialogue was really weak.
Yeah, they were definitely trying to be funny in this movie, and it didn't work. The best word to describe is just bland.
Yeah,
like
bland.
It's you expect the reaction from the other character because once again, it's just all these tropes where it's like the female lead is an archaeologist, so she's the smart one, so she's got to shove her intelligence in every man's face, I ain't no dumb broad type thing. It's just these old Hollywood tropes just being flushed in and out of this movie.
Yeah, it's really kind of below Tom Cruise's pay grade. At a time I was like, Tom Cruise, how did you read this and be like, even Russell Crowe too, they have some good actors in this movie, and I don't know why they agreed to do it.
Yeah, I didn't mind Russell Crowe though. I thought Russell Crowe was one of the few good things about this movie. And there are some good things in this movie.
Yeah, let's talk about, there are a few good things, such as there's a couple set pieces and a couple action scenes that were pretty entertaining, all in all.
Yeah, there was some entertaining action, and the set pieces, definitely. I do like the production design of this movie. I thought that they built some really cool sets, between the tombs and just all the museums and all these different places that they visit. I thought it looked really good, but unfortunately wasn't filled. It had more life than the characters.
Yeah, exactly. And Jake Johnson, I like what they did with his character a little bit, where, I got a little bit of a American Werewolf in London vibe from it at times.
Sure.
So I'm like, this is pretty, oh wait, no, it's not. They're not doing anything with it at all. So I feel like there was ideas. They were trying to take ideas from other films, good ideas, and trying to transform them into a modern era, trying to make it their own, and just kind of failing at it for the most part. But this is a serviceable movie. It's not god awful. You can put it on in the background while you're cleaning your house and you'll be fine.
It looked a lot like the old Brendan Fraser, especially with the sandstorm and the face in the sand. It was just like, all right, well.
Yeah, and the zombie mummies too, sort of half, decrepit and things like that. So yeah, there just wasn't an original thought in the whole thing. But once again, I guess I never really was a huge fan of the Mummy. The Universal monsters, I like horror movies. I like monster movies. I feel like The Mummy was just a bad start to go with. I think they could have done Dracula or Frankenstein or even the creature from the Black Lagoon, anything like that. The Mummy to me is just a bland idea in general.
Yeah, and Universal, these movies started out as horror movies, and they're kind of trying to turn them into summer action blockbusters. Yeah. And so I feel like that's their biggest problem, is that they're trying to make these action movies, they're trying to make them these big tent poles that they can release every summer and drive the ticket sales up. But it's just, I wish they would make them horror movies. I mean, these are horror monsters.
And on the like B end of angles, like I want them to do, maybe R-rated and a little more scary and original. There's still those moments where they're looking around and it's like, just not there. Like, even the horror tropes were so overdone and like just... You were never scared. You were never in suspense. I never feared for these characters at all because it just wasn't well executed.
No. And that's the main thing. These characters, you can't go through the story with them because you don't really care about them. There's parts where they try to be funny and it's not funny. There's parts where they're trying to be, a little
romantic,
witty. Romantic or witty with each other and trying to bounce some banter back and forth, and they just don't pull it off. No. So you don't really get invested, and there are things to like about this movie, but overall, I didn't really enjoy my experience.
Buffs. All right, saw the movie, talked about the movie. Let's put a score on it.
This is one of those movies where, like I said, it's just bland. There's nothing really captivating about it, and there's no real reason to see it. We had an episode earlier this week where we talked about these big universes that they're building, and it's a cash grab. This movie is such a cash grab.
Yeah.
So not only do I recommend you not see it, just go see Wonder Woman instead. But for scoring this movie, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Okay. It's not the world's worst movie. It's not god-awful like you said, but there's no real reason to go check it out.
Yeah, I agree with you. For the most part, I don't think I'm going to go that harsh with it. We sort of, before we went to the theater, I'm like, I kind of wish we were seeing It Comes at Night. And, I still wish we would have saw the movie instead. But all in all, no. Like, I would say technically it's well executed. You got some familiar faces in there. But all in all, bland, boring, not very entertaining. But I'm going to go a little bit higher because there are a few moments that I thought were kind of fun to watch. So I'm going to go 5 out of 10. But still, not my stamp of approval. Go see Wonder Woman.
Go see Wonder Woman.
Buffs.
All right, so that's it for our review of The Mummy. What did you guys think of the movie? What do you think about this whole universe building that's happening in Hollywood? Be sure to check out our discussion about the shared universes, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
That's right, we're right in the thick of summer blockbuster movies, so we're going to be bringing you a lot of episodes, a lot of movie reviews, so stick with us, but don't forget,
there's no place like the theater.